Kenny Durutilu.
And my name is DENIKE Ademoago. We start off with the headlines. I start off with the Punch newspaper and then we move to other papers. The front story, police declare 24-hour curfew as tribunal sacks Kano government. And some more stories here. Shops shot, NNPP supporters protest. Governor heads for appeal. And that's the writer to that story that I just read. Away from that, misconduct. Ondo Assembly begins process to impeach Deputy Governor. To the major story on the Punch, Tinubu's academic record, APC tackles Atiku as U.S. court grants ex-VP's request. PDP Atiku's aide commend U.S. court say Tinubu's academic record will be unveiled soon. And there's another writer to that major story. No cause for alarm. Atiku's case an exercise in futility. President has nothing to hide. That's according to the APC. Lagos road collapses after downpour. Residents groan. Naira tumbles to 980 naira per dollar. FX shortage worsens. To the red corner on the Punch, Mobat's wife seeks Falana's intervention. Ekiti Assembly demands justice. Strike NLC ultimatum ends today. Federal government allays fears. I have scriptural backing to my appearance. Jimmy Odukoya. Plateau Governor Tribunal to deliver judgment Friday. What killed our colleague Michael Umo? Luth ARD. And some more stories here. Tinubu pens love letter to wife at 63. And finally, Tinubu rings NASDAQ closing bell in U.S.
Headlines from the Daily Trust newspaper this morning. 24-hour curfew declared in Kano. That's a major one there. Temporary setback. Governor Yusuf vows to reclaim mandate. Kano Tribunal sacks Governor Yusuf, declares APC's Gawuna winner. Elsewhere, fee increment cannot resolve problem of funding universities, alumni, endowments way to go. Unizik VC. Kenyan woman proves you can eradicate poverty with innovative farming. CBN unveils licensing approvals portal for microfinance banks. Elsewhere from the Daily Trust this morning, court orders Chicago University to release Tinubu's academic records. Court can't determine membership of political party. Kano Tribunal rules. Kano Tribunal goes on recess ahead of final verdict. That's a still one there. Take a couple more. CBN unveils licensing. Already took that one. Tinubu's appointments not lopsided. Biwaji says first female police affairs minister and prospect of a more responsive policing. U.S. orders varsity to release Tinubu's academic record. Some of the stories as of the Daily Trust.
To the Nation newspaper, Dangote Refinery, we will take off with crude from NNPCL. Ondo House steps up, moves to remove Deputy Governor. Nigeria's solid minerals deposit worth $700 billion, says Alake. Ogun plans trial for suspected Shagamu cultists. And Oluremi, my wife, friend, partner, says Tinubu. To the major story, planned strike, NLC keeps federal government in suspense. And SGF ministers meet with VP Shetima, Labour state chapters waiting for go-ahead. Political cases consuming court's time, says CJ and Ariwola. And some more stories from the Nation. Front page, tribunal voids 165,000 NNPP votes, sacks Kano governor. And there's another writer, Yusuf, judgment a human error. Party goes for appeal court. And also, shareholders accuse AMCON of depleting Arik Air. Okay, that's not so clear. Moving away from that story, still on some more stories on the Nation newspaper. Tinubu rings NASDAQ stock market's closing bell. UN chief wants rich countries to hasten climate efforts. Federal government seeks UN support to achieve solutions to humanitarian crisis. And finally, U.S. court okays release of Tinubu's academic records to Atiku.
From the Premium Times, U.S. court orders Chicago State University to release Tinubu's academic records. Nigerians abroad remitted $20.1 billion in 2022. That's according to a report. Tinubu addresses UNGA, warns against illegal mining, arms smuggling in Africa. Dangote refinery to begin operation in October. That's according to a report there from the Premium Times. Foreign entities illegally mining Nigeria's gold, other minerals, Tinubu tells UNGA. Peter Obi appeals against election court judgment, submits 51 grounds to Supreme Court. More headlines. Lalong allays fears of indefinite strike by Labour. Ondo lawmakers begin impeachment process against Deputy Governor. Lagos agency said to honor 24 schools. Premium Times journalist for promoting school safety. U.S. court orders, already took that one. How gunmen killed security operatives in Imo. Police. CGN decries burden of political cases. Swears in NIL appeal court. Judges. Also this one, tribunal judgment. Police impose curfew in Kano. All right, more headlines here. Abuja light rail will be completed in 8 months. Chinese firms tells Shetima. 2023 Independence Anniversary celebration to be low-key. Kume. For the record, President Bola Tinubu's speech at 78th UN General Assembly. Why NAS won't review social media regulation bill. That's according to Akpabio.
Vanguard newspaper, pressure on petrol, diesel prices as crude hits $97.17 and Oshodi Apapa Expressway gridlock, commuters groan as Sanwo-Olu Port Police look on. Lalong allays fears of indefinite strike by Labour. Donald Trump Jr.'s ex-account hacked with claim ex-president is dead. 2023 Independence Anniversary celebration to be low-key, Akume. Only ethical leadership will move the country forward. Obi, Mobad, Iyabojo, others storm Lagos Assembly in peaceful demonstration. Boy with missing intestine was to be transferred to the UK before his death. Lasuth. Tribunal verdict, Kano declares 24-hour curfew amid tension. Abiodun directs payment of 1 billion naira gratuity. Still on the Vanguard newspaper, Isheshe judge warns parties against using his photos for evil purposes. Will continue to resist pressure to allow sodomy, can president. Custom dismisses officers found bearing arms inside port. Maintain sanctity of your office. And some more stories here. There will be no business contract variation under my watch, Umai. I regret tattooing your face on my lap. Mandikis berates Naira Marley. Extortion in Akwa Ibom markets. Group urges Governor Ino to intervene. Sanwo-Olu approves 375 million naira as bursary for Lagos students. And before we go on our first commercial break, Mobat's death, Oluwo calls for calm, says justice will prevail. We go on that break now. When we return, we'll be back with the analysis. Do stay with us.
32 FM 94.9.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the crown princesses of style and spice. They are a course fabulous. They are reality royalty. Meet the Real Housewives of Lagos Season 2. Can you guess who's back? 5 of your favorite housewives return, along with 2 dazzling newcomers. Don't miss this exciting new season. Subscribe from 1,200 Naira Monkey. Sign up now at showmax.com.
160 successful Canadian visas and counting in 2023 alone. We are A3 Immigration and we mean business. A3 Immigration Incorporation is a Canadian-based immigration corporation licensed to help individuals transform Canada into their home sweet home, just as we did for Shalewa.
Hi, my name is Shalewa. Thanks to A3 Immigration, Nova Scotia, Canada is my new home.
Congratulations. Me, this message, congratulations.
With Canada Regulatory Council membership number R707544, A3 Immigration has a wide variety of expertise in all areas related to Canadian immigration. Our sister company, Bigger International Consult, is also available for your work or study needs in the United Kingdom. To get started, call or chat 0913 660 1125, 0913 660 1125, or visit a3immigration.com. A3 Immigration, making Canada your new home.
Guy, if if I tell you see all this plenty airtime and data, where they take flex? Now dash glow dash me, you go believe.
Dash get for this kind of economy. I beg you.
Dey there now, as I buy my glow sim like this, spirit, I first collect 1,000 naira welcome bonus, Sarah. As I come recharge, bam, glow knock me 10 times airtime bonus. I also enjoy double data. Join.
Wait, oh, you mean 1,000 naira welcome bonus?
Yes.
Plus 10 times airtime bonus?
Yes.
Plus double data again?
Yes,
For
now.
which universe now?
The glow break the universe now. You want try?
Oh, mo, no wonder boys they flex anyhow on top phone 247 non-stop. Hey, I talk am.
My people, not let grass grow under your Lego. Go get your Glow SIM today. Dial star 777 hash to buy and enjoy 10 times airtime bonus plus up to double data. Offer day for both new and existing subscribers there.
Glow Unlimited.
Attention kids, are you ready to become amazing?
Yes, Captain Amazing!
So, what do we do?
We take our Amazing Day cereal!
Can't hear you!
We take our Amazing Day cereal!
That's right! Nurture your kids with the Golden Penny Amazing Day cereal, which contains protein, fiber, calcium, and vitamin A. I am Captain Amazing, and with Golden Penny Amazing Day cereal, amazing kids become amazing Amazing-nators. Golden Penny Amazing Day cereal. Nurture them for the future.
This September, Africa Magic is bringing our African stories to life on all 3 language channels with an exciting new lineup of indigenous shows. They say money is the root of all evil, but for the tenants of the Olanwumaju compound, it is the solution to their problems. Find out if they're right in the new Yoruba drama series, Apo, starting September 18th and showing Mondays and Tuesdays at 6:30 p.m. on Africa Magic Yoruba. Watch a young couple's life take a dramatic turn with an act as simple as opening a door in the new Hausa drama series, Kariya, starting September 22nd and showing Fridays and weekends at 8 p.m. on Africa Magic Hausa. What happens when kindness is repaid with evil? Follow the surprising turn of events in Iwe, starting September 25th and showing weekdays at 7 p.m. on Africa Magic Igbo. Stay connected to your DSTV to enjoy original Africa Magic indigenous shows loaded with drama.
ṣé ìrìn àjò afẹ́lẹ́ fẹ́ rìn ní àbí tọrọ ajé lọ síbi yòówù káàkiri àgbáyé pẹ̀lú You Fit Fly ìrọ̀rùn ló bá dé nípa ṣíṣe ètò ilé ìtura tó fini lọ́kàn balẹ̀ àti bíbáni ra tíkẹ́ẹ̀tì ọkọ̀ òfurufú lọ síbi kíbi tẹ́ bá ń lọ lágbàáyé You Fit Fly ló ṣe é gbọ́kànlé a ti ní ìrírí ọdúnmọ́dún nípa bíbáni ṣètò tíkẹ́ẹ̀tì ìrìnnà àti ilé ìtura káàkiri gbogbo àgbáyé tí àwọn arìnrìn-àjò sì ń ṣe sàdánkátà sí wa tí ẹ̀yin nìkan ni ìdílé yín tàbí ọ̀pọ̀ èèyàn You Fit Fly ní ọ̀nà àbáyọ tí ìrìn-àjò yín yóò fi rọ̀ yín lọ́rùn ẹ pè wá sórí 0901 111 1190 0901 111 1190. ẹ sì lè kàn sí wa lórí www.youfitfly.com tàbí lọ́fíìsì wa tó wà ní block 8 plot 15 lópòpónà 7up olúyọ̀lé main estate ring road ìbàdàn ọ̀yọ́ state. You Fit Fly ra tíkẹ́ẹ̀tì ìrìnnà gba ilé ìtura káàkiri gbogbo àgbáyé pẹ̀lú ìrọ̀rùn.
tí 9 mobile network naija gangan bá jẹ́ ayọ̀ rẹ̀ èrè ńlá ń dúró dè ọ́ nígbàkúgbà tí o bá nílò dátà sí láti wo sinimá tàbí gba oríṣiríṣi àjàbalẹ̀ eré ìdárayá 9 mobile wà fún ọ pẹ̀lú 1,500 naira péré wàá jẹ ìgbádùn 8 gigabyte látọ̀dọ̀ 9 mobile o tún lè fi 9.5 gigabyte ṣe ìfàjẹ pẹ̀lú 2,000 naira péré àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ darapọ̀ mọ́ 9 mobile lónìí tàbí kí o tẹ star 301 hash láti yan dátà olówó pọ́kú tí ó ṣe gbẹ́kẹ̀lé 9 mobile wà níbí fún ọ wà níbí fún Naija.
You're listening to 32 FM 94.9.
All right, great to have you back with us. 15 minutes to 7 o'clock. It's still the Break It On paper review on 32 FM 94.9. My name is Kenny Dorothilu.
And I am DENIKE Ademuago. And Professor Oluwajedokun joins us live in the studio this morning. Good morning, Prof.
Well, top of the day to you.
You pulled a very fast one on all of us.
Oh, well, but it's certainly glad to be back. And as I told you, I will arrive like a thief in the night. It's great to have you back.
All right, it's great to have you back. Let's talk about this story from the Punch newspaper. Police declare 24-hour curfew as tribunal sacks Kano government. According to this, to avoid a breakdown of law and order following the sacking of Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf of the NNPP. Security was beefed up across the Kano metropolis, and he's saying that he's going to use all legal means to reclaim his mandate, and saying that he's sure that this is error reading. What do you have to say about this?
First and foremost, let's just be very clear that the governor remains in office until the Supreme Court decides, so still remains there. But of course, the Court of Appeal, which is the tribunal, has made a decision. And 165,000 of his votes were nullified because apparently the ballot used were not validated, were not properly stamped from that point of view. And of course, the deduction of those votes gives the victory to APC narrowly by about 30,000.
Does it not speak of incompetence if something like this is happening?
Of course it does. But the court has decided to look at the form rather than the substance. But the other matter, then again, is that because the NNP is presumably very popular in Kano, APC2 is popular, there's concern that this decision actually there will be an uproar. You also have to remember that this is the same case where a senior advocate in a particular, I won't say which side, was claimed to have bribed or attempted to bribe some of the judges from that point of view. So very controversial things going on there. I have no doubt that the Supreme Court is going to make a decision and the Supreme Court will settle it. But for now, it's on knife's edge. People are quite nervous on both sides of the aisle, and of course we'll see what happens. But what it means is that we have some months or some weeks of uncertainty while the Supreme Court will rule.
Again, it brings into question INEC and its conduct of elections here again.
Oh, yes.
Fingers not exactly being pointed at them right now, but you have to consider that they conducted these elections, and we're having these
sackings and
all
of that.
Yeah, when you consider the quantum, I mean, about seven senators already have been dislodged, and I don't know the exact number of House of Reps, and we don't know how many more governors that might affect. When you look at the evidence, whether it was admissible or inadmissible, then of course INEC, has performed below expectations to a very great extent, and I think INEC needs to review whether they are fit for purpose, and if they are fit for purpose, where they need to improve, and so on and so forth, so that we have better elections, and so we have confidence in the electoral process. Because if we don't have confidence, we can see the consequences of when people don't have confidence in the electoral process. So INEC is a very vital part of our democratic process, and they must ensure that they live up to expectations. And if they can't, then let us appoint people who can.
All right, let's take a look at this headline from the Punch. Dangote Refinery, NNPC to feed us with crude in few weeks. Now, they have come out to deny that the company crude oil, that they denied the Dangote Refinery crude oil, contrary to reports that were, being spread around across the social media and all of that. That's particularly bizarre because if you consider that the NNPCL is a shareholder and partner of the Dangote Refinery, now why would it want to frustrate, the commencement of operations of the Dangote Refinery? Give us an understanding of what's actually happening here. There are some insinuations here and there about the reason for that. What do you make of this?
First and foremost, you have to understand that NNPC still has a number of moribund refineries, and that the only reason why they bought into Dangote really was essentially, because Dangote himself was struggling for the capital and the cash to complete the refinery. So it was a win-win situation. Dangote getting some of the equity from the government, to complete his refinery, and of course the government claiming to have a refinery that works, because there's no other refinery that works other than the Dangote refinery. But that doesn't remove the rivalry. One is a government now privatized, but government in terms of ethos, government in terms of the ethics and the way that they work and their philosophy, and the other is essentially a private company. And so, of course, there's going to be a clash. And I suspect that it's that undercurrent that is going on at the moment. The NNPC, what do you call it, the PLC or NNPC Limited, hasn't really transformed fully yet. It's still a matter of time. And so I think that will probably be the genesis of some of what is going on. But you also have to understand that Dangote has overpromised and underdelivered. We thought that it will start producing for the beginning of the year. Right. Now we are here in October. October, November. You understand? Now, some people are even saying that October, November, they're not even certain. So I think it's a lot of this, obviously, is coming to the fore. But I have no doubt that it will be resolved in the national interest. I think this government is determined that we restore our fortunes. And if we can't get it right, if we can't get it right at NNPC and Dangote, then we are going to be in a deeper problem in terms of the public finances.
All right, a story from the Daily Post says, unlike those before it, Nigeria's 63rd Independence Day observance will not feature a ceremony at the Eagle Square, Abuja, but will be held low-key. This is according to the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, George Akume, and that was what he said yesterday. He said October 1 would be a time for reflections, to think very deeply as a people and the journey forward. Now, some people would think that does this have anything to do with the stance of the president as regards health? He has to probably stand there for a while, and then it will also bring another public scrutiny. Social media will go agog with some reactions and all of that. Or they're trying to save some money, and it's all part of making sure that we're not spending money on certain things anymore and channeling it to other things.
Let's be very clear that the amount of money that will be spent on such a parade is not going to be that significant in the scheme of things. But let's be very clear that this is not the first time the government has made this decision. All this started from the time of essentially of Jonathan, where the regular October 1st parade, which when I was growing up, Racecourse Tafawa Balewa Square, which was opposite my college, King's College Lagos, was a regular thing. The fun fair, the display of military powers, the gallantry, the horses, the cavalry, and all those things. It was a beauty to watch, and of course, and to celebrate the pride we had in Nigeria. But I think really under Jonathan, and then it's extended to Buhari, it was less of a regular thing because of security threats at the time. Now we are now using the word reflection. People have always reflected, and I don't think parade, distracts us from reflection. So if they say for logistic reasons or whatever reasons, then that would be more true than to say for reflection. But having said that, for many of us, it's just a day to stay at home anyway and just recuperate or do other things from that point of view. Let's hope that from this October 1st, things will begin to turn around for the common man, for those who are suffering the ill effects of petrol, removal of petrol subsidy, electricity rises, tariff rises, the meters, and all those other attendant transport costs and food inflationary pressures.
All right, let's take a look at this one. The Chief Justice of Nigeria, Olukayode Ariwola, has lamented the rising number of litigations in the country. He said apart from several new crimes being committed, which had contributed to the steady rise of court cases in the country, political cases are taking a monumental toll on courts' dockets across the country. He suggested alternative dispute resolution mechanisms to sort of take the load off of the courts and the judiciary at this time. What do you make of this?
Well, good suggestion in that sense. But what does my learned Chief Justice of Nigeria expect? The number of lawyers, you understand, are quadrupled. I qualified 35 years ago. When I qualified, I know the number of people that were called to bar. We were not up to 2,000 called to bar. You understand? Today, we have thousands and thousands. So, of course, you have more lawyers, you have more professionals. And, of course, man must work, man must eat. And, of course, because you have more lawyers, you understand, we are getting to the extent we have ambulance chasers. In other words, sometimes the lawyers themselves are encouraging litigation because, of course, they need to maintain body and soul. But I think also in more advanced countries, or countries that are advanced or more advanced than Nigeria, you have what is called alternative dispute resolution, which is going on. And of course, I am in favor of alternative dispute resolution because for a lot of people, it saves time, it saves energy, and it saves cost, from that point of view. And of course, not everybody wants to go to court where you meet a man, you understand, wearing fancy dress, wig and gown and all that sort of thing. They just want to go to court or want to go to somebody who can settle matters. That's why on some radios and some television programs, you understand, the resolution of disputes has taken a very popular trend. I won't mention names, but because basically the court system is not working for them. So they would rather go to radio or they go to television and, try to resolve their matters at the end of the day. So very good suggestion from the CGN. But how it's going to actually be practicalized is obviously going to be the next thing we'll look at.
All right, still speaking of the court, according to this, a U.S. District Court, Northern District of Illinois, on Tuesday ordered the Chicago State University, CST, to release the academic records of President Bola Tinubu. And of course, this is following a request made by the presidential candidate of the PDP in the 2023 election, Atiku Abubakar. What do you think is going to come out of this? I mean, there have been certain reports that he indeed went to that school and graduated in 1979. This record is supposed to show what exactly?
Yes, I don't think the record is going to show anything much more different than we already know. And even if it were, the Court of Appeal has already declared it to be a pre-election matter. In other words, you understand, the pre-election matters, you understand, are not going to influence decisions of whether somebody is qualified for an election or not. But it's going to be salacious. It could be salacious because some people have been speculating that is it the same Bola A. Tinubu or is it another Bola A. Tinubu? But I don't think anything other than the fact, you understand, that he was a very brilliant student and that, he qualified and that there was a mistake. It's already said there was a clerical error as to they made a mistake saying he was female when indeed he is male. So beyond that, I'm not expecting any great surprises.
Okay, let's take this one. Femi Additional. He has said that former President Muhammadu Buhari had regrets as president. A story out of the Punch newspaper, and I'm curious to see what you make of this particular report.
But that he had regrets.
Regrets as president. How things went.
Well, you know that even if the best of presidents will have regrets, because obviously there would have been things that they could have done better. Jonathan would have his regrets. Obasanjo would have his regrets, But I think Buhari much more than many, because it's quite clear that the 8 years were a monumental failure. It's quite clear, even from his supporters, it's quite clear that it was a wasted opportunity, and it's quite clear that we went backwards. It's also quite clear that, at the end of 4 years, it would have been better if the president had recognized that his inability or his incapacity to move Nigeria forward was a reality and allowed somebody else to take over. But in a country where people go for power, not for the sake of betterment of the lives of people, but just because they want to occupy position. We like big positions with little achievement to show for it. So, yes, it is crying over spilt milk. That time has passed. You understand? We have to look to the future. We rue the day. Many of us read the day that we supported President Buhari because I actually thought he was going to be, in quotation marks, the Messiah that Nigeria needed.
All right, this one from the Punch. Ondo Assembly begins impeachment process of Akeredolu's deputy. According to this, it was said to have been involved in some act of gross misconduct while in office as the acting governor. Now, when you look at it, how many months was he exactly the acting governor? And how much time does even the governor himself have to be the president, to be the governor, I beg your pardon? Yes. And what is all of this really about? Do you think it's personal?
First and foremost, it's in the twilight of his administration from that point of view. And first, we thank God, that his health at least has held up. But what do you expect an acting governor to do? When you're acting governor, you have all the powers of the governor and you have independence of action. But the problem, of course, when you're acting governor is you have to realize that at some point your principal will come back. So there's supposed to be a kind of synergy. But I really don't think the priority of the people is impeaching a deputy governor that was acting as governor. And when they say high crimes of misdemeanor, what are they talking about? Really, we need to know what the evidence is. So I'm not going to condemn them without seeing the evidence. But at the same time, I think that the priority of the people are the economic well-being, the welfare, the security. That's what people are more interested in. And I hope that if the governor are in a position to influence it, to put the swords back, and let them resolve this amicably. The public pronunciations of the deputy governor has been there's no problem at all. But of course, that belies the fact that there is a problem.
All right, we have to go on a break now. When we return, we'll open the phone line. Stay with us.
32 FM 94.9.
It's 7 a.m. Time to have your nutritious Golden Penny Amazing Day cereal.
nǹkan kan bẹ nínú mi tẹnikẹ́ni ò lè kojú ìkáwọ́ mi lè ro ọkàn gbogbo àwọn tó súnmọ́ mi wá mi ò kì í ṣe àpò lásán mo kún fún ọ̀pọ̀ mo bára mi lágbolé àwọn láríwájú ní báyìí gbogbo èèyàn fẹ́ jẹ́ alábàápín wà dìrúdúrúdú fàákájà tí mo dá sílẹ̀ nínú eré Yorùbá alágbéléwò titun àpò
bẹ̀rẹ̀ lọ́jọ́ kejìdínlógún oṣù kẹsàn-án lọ́jọ́ ajé àti ìṣẹ́gun láago 6:30 ìrọ̀lẹ́ lórí Africa Magic Yorùbá.
tí nine mobile network naija gangan bá jẹ́ àyò rẹ̀ èrè ńlá ń dúró dè ọ́ nígbàkúgbà tí o bá nílò dátà sí láti wo sinimá tàbí gba oríṣiríṣi àjàbalẹ̀ eré ìdárayá nine mobile wà fún ọ pẹ̀lú 1,500 naira péré wàá jẹ ìgbádùn 8 gigabyte látọ̀dọ̀ nine mobile o tún lè fi 9.5 gigabyte ṣe ìfàjẹ pẹ̀lú 2,000 naira péré àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ darapọ̀ mọ́ nine mobile lónìí tàbí kí o tẹ star 301 hash láti yan dátà olówó pọ́kú tí ó ṣe gbẹ́kẹ̀lé nine mobile wà níbí fún ọ wà níbí fún Naija.
Attention kids, are you ready to become amazing?
Yes, Captain Amazing!
So, what do?
We take our Amazing Day cereal!
Can't hear you!
We take our Amazing Day cereal!
That's right! Nurture your kids with the Golden Penny Amazing Day cereal, which contains protein, fiber, calcium, and vitamin A. I am Captain Amazing, and with Golden Penny Amazing Day cereal, amazing kids become amazing-nators. Golden Penny Amazing Day cereal. Nurture them for the future.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the crown princesses of style and spice. They are a course fabulous. They are reality royalty. Meet the Real Housewives of Lagos Season 2. Can you guess who's back? 5 of your favorite housewives return, along with 2 dazzling newcomers. Don't miss this exciting new season. Subscribe from 1,200 Naira Monkey. Sign up now at showmax.com.
My son has a football match at school today, but looks tired already, wearing his boots slowly, like someone turned down our playback speed.
But with Golden Penny Choco, he eventually comes alive. Now Junior is back on his feet to take on his day. Cause I make breakfast time, Choco time.
Golden Penny Choco for everyday energy.
See how I'm using corner eye to look at you as you keep pressing star 321 hash on your phone. Is it not credit that you want to borrow from Glow?
Yes, now. What happened? Has the code changed?
Where have you been, girl? Star 303 hash is the new code to borrow credit and data on Glow.
So the code is no longer star 321 hash, but star 303 hash?
Confirmento. Voila! It worked, oh! Before Uncle, star 303 hash, not before show. But, guy, I hope so the data where you borrow go reach me and you.
Dial star 303 hash to borrow credit and data on Glow and pay later. Star 303 hash, new code, same great ease.
Glow Unlimited. 32 FM 94.9.
Thank you for staying with us. We open the phone lines now 0705 5949 and 0809 7949. Hello, good morning. Hello.
Good morning, I'm Thomas on Deck.
All right, good morning.
Thank you, Professor. I'm shocked by what I have from you this morning. With respect to you that you consider Buhari as the Messiah, I, John Njoku, never consider him as the Messiah. I didn't know much of him, but I read books concerning him, especially that the address to the nation on 27th August 1985, that Babangida, there I got to know everything about him. So I, John Njoku, never believed Buhari would be the Messiah. When he came back in 2015, so I tried to probe his past and came to the conclusion that Nigeria will regret his reign. On February 2023, I told Nigeria point blank that this is not in the peace of our nation. In 2015, when Nigeria entered into the recession, I told those who understand me better, Mr. Montemari, I've been proved to right. John Jock is my name. Thank you.
All right, thank you. 0705 5949 0809 7949. We're also live on Facebook. You can drop your comments and share your reactions to the stories on Facebook.
All right, Miriam Yetune says, good morning, Kenny and DENIKE. Nigeria is a country which depends solely on mono-economy petroleum when we have so many natural resources that can be looked into in reviving our economy. But it's a pity that the federal government cannot even sustain the one thing that they solely depend on, not to talk of diversifying the economy. May God come to our aid in Nigeria. Good morning.
Prof, welcome back to our country. Now, about NNPC and Dangote refinery. Dangote refinery is buying crude from NNPC with the price of the international market. There have been little changes in the price of petroleum. People should be aware of that. To buy the crude oil in the price of international, the only thing we want is our naira should be strengthened against dollar. That's number one. Number two, our politicians should know that they are caretaker holder of that office until Supreme Court declare them the winner. See what Governor Okano did. Destroy many things, including a roundabout that you said that he crossed in front of the government house. If the Supreme Court now declaring declare APC winner now, how are you going to be feeling? They should know that they are caretaker until the Supreme Court declare. Have a nice time.
All right, thank you. 0705 5949 089 7949.
Raji Hafiz Abidemi says, good morning, Kenny, Denike, and Professor Olu Ojedoko. On the issue of NLC versus federal government, honestly, federal government is not serious about minimum wage and not sincere with civil servants in Nigeria. To avoid shutting down economy in Nigeria, federal government should do the needful because fuel prices is increasing every day. God bless Nigeria. Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Hello, we can hear you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hello, good morning. We can hear you.
Yes, my name is Kile Balabi from Malanka Road.
All right.
A drop to down coffee has been imposed on Kano as a result of upturning the NNPP election that brought NNPP candidates. I want to appeal to the aggrieved party to please share their sword. I assure there's still room for appeal instead of causing mayhem in the town. That's my comment on that one. On the all the world leader and legal luminary has praised the Bola Tinubu for his speech he delivered at the General Assembly. I commend him for that. This shows there's a clear difference between him and some other presidents. Have a nice day.
All right, thank you.
0705 5949. We're also live on our Facebook. It's 32FM 949. You want to like and share our video. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Benjamin. I'm calling from Apata. If not for time constraint, I would have seen for Professor Dakabo. Well, on the issue of Akedolu, let him play his deputy. There's no way you can walk at the end of no shit. He has been away for 3 months, and deputy has been doing very well. We can't figure out what deputy has done. Maybe he has managed the fund, maybe he has put some money to his coffers. But if you can't say, you can't find out yet. Let them they start together, let them play together. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. 0705 5949 0829 7949. Prof, let's have your reaction to the NLC federal government situation. We understand that the 21-day ultimatum given is expiring today.
Well, it's taking too long, isn't it? You would have thought that a government that took the decision very quickly, immediately, in the first few hours, or first few minutes rather, of its administration to remove subsidy, would have had a game plan and would have put something in place. It's now apparent that there was no game plan and they haven't put anything in place. And people, over the past 3 months, I think, or 4 months, have been suffering the impact of the removal of subsidy, and the government still has no answer. I think the delay in the negotiation must be put squarely at the feet of the government, and the government needs to move fast. The strike is not going to resolve much, but at the same time, the government needs to attend to the cries of the people.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. We can hear you.
Yeah, good morning, my sister. John, calling from Ibadan here. Doctor, if INEC and the tribunal nullifying what INEC have declared, don't you think that the judiciary should handle INEC? Let us forget about that INEC of it. Let the judiciary start to conduct election, because it's a waste of money by INEC, and we will also go back to the tribunal and start wasting money again. Let the judiciary take over INEC. It will be better and it will save cost. Good morning.
What do you have to say about that?
Well, it's very interesting. You know, at some point, they used to have a retired Supreme Court Judge, Justice Apata, as the chairman of INEC. And I'm not sure that they did much better than what we have at the present situation. The judiciary, of course, has its own role. And, of course, that is it to interpret. They don't have the capacity, nor do they have the personnel to be able to run elections. But it is true that you need men of probity and men who have their integrity is not without doubt. Because if you have that at the head of the INEC, then of course you know they're not going to be compromised. I think he's just expressing the fact that people have lost confidence in INEC.
Marquise Alaudia on Facebook says, if the crucial segments of Nigeria's economy were to go on strike, it could lead to additional problems. However, I haven't observed any impactful strikes by the NLC. Their statements seem to lack tangible actions. Many oil workers belong to the TUC, and I'm skeptical about their participation in the strike due to the palliatives they've received.
All right, Raji Afiz Abiola says, good morning. About the Kano gubernatorial tribunal verdict, honestly, it was a costly mistake on the part of INEC, who did 1,000 ballot papers, was left without being stamped. Okay, how did those ballot papers counted among valid votes in the first instance? The mistake may likely cause Kano NNPP the seat. At the end of the day, let's wait for the outcome of appeal and Supreme Court verdict. But I doubt if there's anything different. INEC needs to improve for the sake of future elections.
All right, it's time for us to leave. Prof, any final words as we go?
Well, I think the clock is ticking. Very soon we'll be celebrating, I don't know, it's 1960, so that's 63 years, I think, of independence. I think the President, Tinubu, made a very good speech, very thoughtful speech. Let's hope that's an indication of things to come. Let's hope things will be better. And let's hope we'll be able to look back and say, well, there was pain, but after pain came the glorious dawn.
All right, let's quickly talk about Board Masters competition. And of course, we have so many events lined up for you from the 29th, the 30th, and the 1st. Sunday is the 1st of October. It's supposed to be the of course, it's the Independence Day, and that means 2nd is going to be a public holiday. So you might just want to come around to unwind. Laughter Fest is on the 1st of October 2023. It's going to be at Racecourse Amphitheatre at Damasingba by 4 o'clock. We've got so many fun things locked up for you. As well as Saturday 30th is Board Masters competition at Midas Casino, Bodija. You can get your forms at the station for 2,000 Naira. You can win cash prizes like gifts, TV, a standing fan, microwaves, and so many other things. So just come by the station and pick up your form.
All right. Thank you very much, Professor Oluwajedoku, for joining us this morning. My name is Kenny Turisilu. Good morning.
And I am Adenike Ademwagon. The Smart Kids Show is up next.
The views and opinions expressed in this program are those